The Pacific Coast Highway. Just the name conjures up images: sun-drenched convertibles, hair blowing in the wind, and the vast Pacific Ocean stretching out before you. It's no wonder the PCH is one of the most famous roads in the world. It's more than just a road, it's a symbol of freedom, of adventure, of the California dream. The highway clings to the cliffs, offering breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean. For decades, people have flocked to the PCH to experience its beauty. But the PCH is in trouble. The very thing that makes it so special, its proximity to the ocean, is also its biggest threat. The coastline is eroding, slowly but surely, and in some places it's happening faster than ever before. This isn't just a California problem, this is happening all over the world, but the PCH is a high-profile example of a much larger issue. It's a reminder that we can't take our coastlines for granted. The Pacific Ocean is a powerful force. It's vast, it's relentless, and it's constantly shaping the California coastline. For millions of years, the ocean has been eroding the cliffs, carving out coves and depositing sand on beaches. It's a natural process. Waves are a major factor. They crash against the cliffs, wearing them down over time. Tides also play a role. High tides can reach the base of the cliffs, weakening them. And then, there are storms. They bring powerful waves and storm surges, which can cause significant erosion. The California coastline is also prone to landslides. The cliffs are made of soft rock, which is easily eroded. Heavy rainfall can saturate the soil, making it unstable. And earthquakes can trigger landslides, sending tons of rock and debris tumbling into the ocean. These natural processes are part of what makes the California coast so beautiful, but they also make it vulnerable. Nature is a powerful force, but humans are making things worse. The relentless power of the ocean has always shaped our coastlines, but now, human activities are accelerating this natural process in unprecedented ways. We've built homes, businesses, and roads right on the edge of the cliffs. These developments offer stunning views and prime real estate, but they come at a significant cost to the environment. And we've done things that have disrupted the natural processes that protect the coastline. Heavy machinery and construction activities disturb the delicate balance of coastal ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to erosion. One of the biggest problems is sea level rise. This phenomenon is not just a distant threat, it's happening right now and affecting coastal communities worldwide. As global temperatures rise, glaciers and ice caps are melting, adding more water to the ocean. This influx of water is causing sea levels to rise, which in turn exacerbates coastal erosion. This is causing sea levels to rise at an alarming rate. Higher sea levels mean that storm surges and high tides reach further inland, eroding the coastline more aggressively. Higher sea levels mean bigger waves and more erosion. The increased wave energy can break down cliffs and beaches much faster than natural processes alone. Another problem is coastal development. As more people flock to coastal areas, the demand for housing and infrastructure grows, leading to more construction projects. When we build on the coast, we often remove vegetation, which helps to stabilize the soil. Vegetation acts as a natural barrier against erosion, and its removal leaves the soil exposed and more susceptible to being washed away. We also build seawalls and other structures that can interfere with the natural flow of sand. While these structures are meant to protect property, they can have the opposite effect by disrupting the natural sediment transport. This can lead to increased erosion in some areas. When the natural flow of sand is interrupted, some areas may experience severe erosion while others may accumulate excess sediment. And then there's climate change. This global phenomenon is altering weather patterns and increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. Climate change is causing more extreme weather events, such as storms and heavy rainfall. These events can lead to sudden and severe erosion, washing away large sections of the coastline in a short period. These events can cause significant erosion and damage to the coastline. The combination of rising sea levels and more intense storms creates a perfect storm for accelerated erosion. We're not just bystanders in this process, we're active participants. Our choices and actions are directly influencing the rate and severity of coastal erosion, and our actions are having a real impact on the California coastline. The beautiful and iconic landscapes we cherish are under threat, and it's up to us to make changes to protect them for future generations. Section 4, Crumbling Coast, Recent Landslides and Road Closures. The erosion of the California coastline is not some distant threat, it's happening right now. The relentless forces of nature are reshaping the landscape, and the consequences are becoming increasingly evident. Coastal erosion is a natural process, but human activities and climate change have accelerated it, making it a pressing issue for communities along the coast. And it's having a real impact on people's lives. Families are being displaced, homes are being destroyed, and livelihoods are being disrupted. The emotional and financial toll on residents is immense, as they grapple with the uncertainty of their future. Many have lived in these areas for generations, and the thought of losing their homes is devastating. In recent years, there have been numerous landslides and road closures along the PCH. These events not only disrupt daily commutes, but also hinder emergency services, making it difficult for first responders to reach those in need. The road closures also impact tourism, a vital source of income for many coastal communities. In 2017, a massive landslide near Big Sur buried a section of the highway under a mountain of rock and debris. This catastrophic event highlighted the vulnerability of the region to natural disasters. The cleanup and repair efforts were monumental, involving heavy machinery and countless hours of labor. The highway was closed for over a year, cutting off access to Big Sur and costing the local economy millions of dollars. Businesses that relied on the steady stream of tourists found themselves struggling to stay afloat. The economic ripple effect was felt far and wide, as suppliers, employees, and other stakeholders faced financial hardships. In 2019, another landslide closed a section of the PCH in Southern California. This event served as a stark reminder that landslides are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of geological instability. The frequency of these occurrences is alarming, prompting calls for better infrastructure and preventive measures. And in 2023, a series of storms caused widespread damage along the coast. The intensity and frequency of these storms are increasing, driven by climate change. The resulting damage is not just a temporary inconvenience, but a long-term challenge that requires comprehensive planning and investment. High waves and storm surges eroded beaches, damaged homes, and flooded roads. The power of the ocean is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, as it reshapes the coastline with each passing storm. The damage to infrastructure is extensive, requiring significant resources for repairs and rebuilding. The PCH was closed in several places, stranding motorists and disrupting travel. The closures create a ripple effect, affecting not just local residents but also travelers and businesses that depend on the highway for transportation and commerce. The inconvenience and economic impact are substantial, highlighting the need for resilient infrastructure. These are just a few examples of the many landslides and road closures that have occurred along the PCH in recent years. Each event serves as a reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our environment. The challenges posed by these natural disasters require a coordinated response from government agencies, communities, and individuals. And as sea levels continue to rise and climate change brings more extreme weather, these events are likely to become more frequent and more severe. The future of the California coastline depends on our ability to adapt and mitigate the impacts of these changes. Investing in sustainable infrastructure, protecting natural barriers, and reducing carbon emissions are crucial steps in safeguarding our coastal communities for generations to come. Section 5. Isolated and endangered. The impact on coastal communities. Coastal communities along the Pacific Coast Highway are facing unprecedented challenges. The scenic route, known for its breathtaking views and vital connectivity, is under threat from natural forces that are reshaping the landscape. The erosion of the Pacific Coast Highway isn't just a problem for drivers, it's a significant issue that extends far beyond the inconvenience of road closures and detours. The very foundation of these communities is at risk. It's a major threat to the communities that line the California coast. These towns and cities have developed around the highway, relying on it for their daily needs and economic activities. The erosion threatens their existence. These communities rely on the PCH for everything from tourism to transportation. The highway is a lifeline, bringing in visitors who support local businesses and providing a route for residents to commute and access essential services. When the highway is closed, it can have a devastating impact. Businesses suffer. Shops and restaurants that depend on tourist traffic see their revenues plummet. The local economy takes a hit, and recovery can be slow and painful. Tourists can't get to hotels and restaurants. The hospitality industry, which is a significant part of the coastal economy, faces severe downturns. Hotels remain empty and restaurants lose their patrons, leading to layoffs and financial strain. Residents can't get to work or school. The daily routines of thousands are disrupted. commutes become longer and more complicated, affecting productivity and quality of life. Schools face attendance issues, and parents struggle to find alternative routes. Emergency services can't reach people in need. In critical situations, every second counts. Road closures can delay ambulances, fire trucks, and police, putting lives at risk. The safety of the community is compromised, and the cost of repairing the damage can be astronomical. The financial burden of fixing eroded sections of the highway is immense. It requires significant investment in infrastructure, which can strain local and state budgets. In some cases, entire communities have been cut off from the outside world. Isolation can lead to a host of problems, from supply shortages to mental health issues. The sense of being cut off can be overwhelming for residents. After the 2017 landslide near Big Sur, the town of Big Sur was only accessible by helicopter or a long, treacherous hike. This isolation lasted for months, highlighting the vulnerability of these communities to natural disasters. Residents had to ration food, water, and other supplies. The disruption of supply chains meant that basic necessities became scarce. People had to adapt to a new way of living, relying on community support and resilience. The erosion of the PCH is a threat to the economic, social, and physical well-being of coastal communities. It's not just about the road, it's about the people who live there and their way of life. The impact is profound and far-reaching, and it's a reminder that we need to take action to protect our coastlines. Efforts to combat erosion and protect these communities are crucial. From installing barriers to community cleanups, every action counts. We must work together to ensure the future of our coastal towns and the people who call them home.